Justin Jefferson last night with the Diamonds.
I mean, that's absolutely dope. The thing is, Greeny, if you're as good as Justin Jefferson at anything, you can get away with the Stone Cold.
What about the
Steve.
vest?
Thank you.
You like the vest?
Stone Cold. If he gonna play like he played last night,
Yeah.
I love a studded vest.
Stone Cold.
Oh,
Absolutely.
my gosh, he do look like Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Absolutely.
And yet I don't feel like I could pull it off under almost any circumstance.
No chance.
All right, we roll on this Tuesday. Tuesday takeaways. Jeffrey, Saturday, what was your biggest takeaway from week one?
AFC playoffs goes through Buffalo. Josh Allen, what a performance they put on with this comeback. This reminds me of Colts, Patriots back in the day. Whoever won the home field, you knew you were having to go back for playoffs. Obviously, Baltimore's going to have to travel back to Buffalo if everything goes according to plan. And they got a good schedule, Buffalo does, so it's going through there.
Dominique, is Josh Allen the best quarterback in the NFL?
Absolutely.
Yep.
Like, I don't know how else you can argue anything otherwise given what he did last week.
MVP.
Like, it was him and Lamar Jackson last year where you could go either way. If you just tack on week one, then it's clearly that Lamar Jackson is better than anyone else in football playing that position.
Yeah, they're scary, man. They should absolutely have the 1 seed. They don't leave the Eastern time zone but one time all regular season. And this was the game. They both played it like it was a playoff game.
Right.
Because they know it could matter in terms of where that playoff rematch is. And you do not, trust me, you do not want to be in Buffalo in January.
I dare somebody on Tuesday morning to come and try to make an argument for somebody other than Josh Allen after witnessing what he did Sunday night.
I may in a few minutes when we get to Patrick Mahomes, but let me get to a different one first. J-Mac, give me your Tuesday takeaway.
Oh, man, New York's trash is another city's treasure. Aaron Rodgers, Daniel Jones get kicked out of New York, kicked off the subway, and here they are in another city performing. They were two of the best quarterbacks in the NFL on Sunday.
Yes, I know Aaron was on the subway a lot when he was
On his way to the commercial airport.
If you know, you know. Here's the question. Obviously, I watched every snap of that game against the Jets defense that we think is going to be at least pretty good with Aaron Glenn. How good was Aaron Rodgers, or maybe more to the point, how sustainable for Pittsburgh was what we saw?
I don't think it's a sustainable, the way Aaron played was fantastic. The Jets helped him some. Like, let's just be honest. They're an aggressive, I thought they were overly aggressive, honestly. Played too close to the line of scrimmage. You got a guy who's played, 2 decades of NFL football. He understands where guys' positions and why they matter and can pick you apart. I would have played a little bit less and made him beat me with his legs or at least the running game.
I mean, this is not a sustainable model, way of winning for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Right.
The defense is going to have to play a lot better. I thought Aaron Rodgers was like he was last year. Like, I didn't have the reaction that I think a lot of people had where it's like, oh, my gosh, Aaron Rodgers turned back the clock and he was great. I thought he was okay.
Okay. He took what was there. Like, he also took 4 sacks. Well, that's not sustainable.
He threw the ball to the other team and hit the other guy's face.
Dropped interceptions. They got a gift turnover on a kickoff, right, from the Jets, and they needed a 60-yard field goal to win it. No, I don't think it's sustainable. I think they're going to have to tighten things up on defense, and they're going to have to really, really protect Aaron Rodgers, because when he was kept clean, he was sharp. He can still throw. He can still figure out who's open and who's going to be. But if he's under pressure, he can't get away from it, and that is going to be a problem.
I will say that Chris Boswell, that kick would have been good from 80 yards.
Yeah, Boswell was unbelievable. With all of that said, Aaron Rodgers still had 8 incompletions and 4 touchdowns. The combination of him and Arthur Smith, the play action, then him still standing up in the shotgun, getting the ball out quick, getting the ball into DK Metcalf's hands and letting him be a catch-and-run guy. Jonnu Smith, another guy that'll be a catch-and-run guy. To me, when I watched him, yes, the defense has to play better, but offensively, what Rodgers was able to do, some of the throws on the run. Did the Jets leave people wide open? Absolutely. I tell my Pee Wee football team, don't worry about who's on the schedule, just go out there and execute. And they did that, and they won the game, and Rodgers played well.
He looked better to me than he did at any point when he was on the Jets, which probably says as much about the Jets as it does about anything else. All right, Tuesday takeaways. Dominique, what's yours?
We got to get some help down there for Patrick Mahomes. They might need to call Tyreek and make that trade. These are some situations where Mahomes, of course, there's some pressure, but the deep threat is going to predicate the strength of this offense and most offenses in football. And you watch this game, when you watch the All-22, the Chargers were sitting on routes, just letting Hollywood Brown run up on their chest before they would even turn. And then he's throwing deep balls that no one's getting open. This guy's frustrated there too. It's worth a chance for both teams to get a little bit of a fresh start.
So Graziano, math was never my strong point, but am I putting 2 and 2 together here? You got the Chiefs who desperately seem to need something. You got the Dolphins who look ready to splinter, and he's obviously not happy. This feels too obvious not to happen.
It makes some sense, and you also, like, the Chiefs always trade for a veteran wide receiver at the trade deadline, so it would make a lot of sense. Look, it's too early, I think, for the Dolphins to give up on their season and give up on their program, so I don't think it happens.
I saw it. I'm not sure you'd say that.
I don't think it happens soon, but I do think it could get to a point where that happens. There's no doubt. You know, the Chiefs, like, talking to people there after the game, like, they had a Xavier Worthy-centric game plan, and he got hurt on the third play. So you see these deep shots to Tyquan Thornton. He's got that timed up with Xavier Worthy from weeks and weeks and weeks of practice, whereas Tyquan Thornton's been catching the ball from, Gardner Minshew. So they weren't quite on. The week and a half to fix it might look better.
On the other side of it, you called the game.
Yeah.
I mean, the Dolphins, was it as bad as it looked on TV?
It was. And specifically when you're talking about Tyreek Hill and Tua Tagovailoa, the offense got nothing going. They had 0 points going into the fourth quarter, 3 turnovers in that game. So, yes, when you see a frustrated Tyreek Hill on the sideline, it was with reason. They were really bad offensively in that game.
Yeah, they were horrible. And Tyreek is frustrated, but if you watch him, Tyreek sometimes didn't know where to go. The offensive line's dropping protection. The running backs don't do what they're supposed to do. It was a colossal failure at all kinds of levels. Let me say this about the Tyreek Hill hit. A lot of stuff has been said from Tyreek about the Chiefs.
Right.
To bring that dude back in your locker room, we may need some receivers. I'm not sure like what he said about Tua and Mahomes, what he said, when he left, he kind of left scorched earth, right?
Yeah.
So, like, when you do that, maybe they're all adults enough to bring it back. It would be difficult in the locker room.
Everybody talk greasy at the breakup, and then you go off and you go live your life. You're like, man, they wasn't that bad. Baby, I'm sorry. I can cook dinner sometimes too. You're right. My bad. I was being selfish. I feel like Tyreek is at that point.
I love you. We roll on next. It was
Graziano and Jeff Saturday, another season of this fun. Let's stay in the NFC North, guys. The Packers will be NFC champions. NFC champions. Dan, overreaction or not an overreaction?
Not an overreaction. This was a team that looked as good as any in week 1. I picked them to win the NFC going into the season. Nothing I saw Sunday changed my mind. Remember, the Packers went 0-6 last year against the Lions, Vikings, and Eagles. 11-1 against everyone else. They've now got a win in their pocket over the Lions, 2-time defending division champs. They look dominant doing it. They had Micah Parsons. They had the youngest roster in the league last year. They had a top 10 defense by a lot of metrics. Elite play callers, it looks like, on both sides of the ball, and all the talent they need to win the NFC. Jeff obviously agrees.
I mean, is anybody shocked? Dan picked him in his preseason poll, so he picks him in week 1 because they win a game. Do the Eagles still play in the NFC? I mean, I'm not sure. We're just writing them off there. We're just saying, hey, all of a sudden we're rubber stamping Green Bay all the way. May have something to do with a little bias, a little Dan bias from preseason predictions that he wants to win the poll at ESPN. I'm just saying. The Eagles look pretty good themselves. If you watched it, you know what I'm saying?
Well, so confirmed, Jeff, the Eagles do play in the NFC. So just, hey, facts over feelings is what we're saying. Yeah. Hey, Gross, let's go from the NFC to the AFC. The Kansas City Chiefs will not win the AFC West this season. Forget the conference, their own division. Overreaction or otherwise?
I got to say overreaction. This is a team that's won this division 9 years in a row and has excelled at, above all other things, fixing their problems during the season. I think the Chiefs will be better than they looked against the Chargers. They had a Xavier Worthy heavy game plan that got blown up on the third play when Xavier Worthy left the game due to injury. They'll get Rashee Rice back at some point this year. I think the left tackle, Josh Simmons, the rookie, will play better. They're very high on him. I just don't think this was an outstanding performance by the Chiefs, but I do believe that they have shown us enough to deserve the benefit of the doubt and belief that they will recover.
Yeah, this is a tough one for me, but I'm going to say not an overreaction. I think the injuries for the Chiefs are not the Worthy, obviously the Rice suspension, and I know Simmons is going to played well in preseason and should be good at that left tackle spot. I just don't see a lot of explosive plays. And when I saw the defensive side of the Chiefs, which Dan, you and I know, they really has carried this team the last couple years. The Chargers exposed them, and with Herbert in that same division, Broncos are getting better. Even the Raiders with Pete Carroll now. So I'm saying this is not an overreaction. I'm not writing the Chiefs off, but I would say this is not an overreaction.
Randy, what I'm going to say right now is I thought for a second we were going to see both sides reach across the aisle, and come to an agreement.
No,
and then Jeff just said, nope, forget about that.
Yanked the rug out.
That's correct.
That's fine. Steelers finally have an offense that can help them advance past the wild card round of the playoffs. Dan, overreaction or not an overreaction?
It's obviously an overreaction. This offense was outgained by 120 yards against the Jets. They got gift after gift. The Jets committed 7 penalties, committed the game's only turnover at a pivotal time, and the Steelers still needed a 60-yard field goal to win the game. If that field goal doesn't go in, which is entirely possible because it was, again, 60 yards long, are we having the same conversation about how good Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers offense look? Rodgers was sacked 4 times. When they keep him clean, he looks fine. But if they can't keep him clean, they have potential disaster on their hands on every play.
I'm going to say not an overreaction, and I'm leaning this more towards Mike Tomlin than I am to Aaron Rodgers. And I get you're not going to have the same thing. I thought the Jets helped the Steelers out quite a bit by getting down close to the line of scrimmage, allowing for those explosive plays behind it. So some of that was just a little too aggressive in my thought pattern. But Tomlin finds ways to win. And I think with the quarterback, the defense is going to get better, I think, through the season. They didn't have a good performance. So I'm going to say not, but I'm going the Tomlin route instead of just the Aaron Rodgers route. So that's why I'm saying not an overreaction.
This has immediately...
Because of Tomlin's outstanding record of getting past the wild
No,
card
because of a
round.
veteran quarterback and the defense getting better. That's why I'm saying. I mean, he has had some struggling QBs up until this point.
This is my favorite segment. This has already become my favorite segment that we do on SportsCenter. Here's the thing. You can read Dan's entire column on ESPN Plus. I'll tell you, Jeff Saturday's not gonna, but you can.
No.
All right now.
That's right.
On ESPN Plus. Fellas, much appreciated.
Pacheco. The speed on display. He's in. Isaiah Pacheco. Touchdown, KC. Big play out of the running game as the back accelerates all the way to the house for the rushing touchdown.
And Mike, when we talk about burst, that's what we're talking about. And they told us all week, be ready for this guy. He's got something special to him, and that long touchdown there is exactly what they're talking about.
Here's the Chiefs and Mahomes lining up to add on 2 more. They'll run with Pacheco. And he's going to go backwards on that one. They take him down back at the 6-yard line.
I don't love the call. I mean, all week you practice these gotta-have-it plays. Every call sheet, Mike, has 3 or 4 plays that are down here in the goal line that could also be used as 2-point plays. I think to simply turn it around and just hand the ball to your running back, gotta be a little bit more creative. That's a big missed opportunity.
So now it's Butker following the touchdown to send this one away. A return now from the 4. And he'll be brought down just beyond the 25-yard line. Here's the San Francisco offense ready to take possession of the ball once more. The deficit is double digits, so work to do as they begin this drive with 1st and 10. To throw, Purdy. They'll try to set up the screen to McCaffrey. That's a nice pickup on a 1st down throw. It's a gain of 8. The Niners will use the first of their timeouts. The stoppage comes with just over a minute to play in this one. Throwing on 2nd down is Purdy. That's caught by McCaffrey. Taken down after a gain of 3, but that is good enough for a 1st down. He's going to send it downfield for Ayuk. And that is brought in. And this is going to be a touchdown. Hold everything. They are not done yet. They find the end zone through the air. Greg, that is one of the most popular plays because it works so often.
You're right, Mike. We see it all the time. It's a 4 vertical concept. But the key is you've got to stretch the defense and put pressure on the secondary. That's exactly what they were able to do here. They take advantage, and they go deep for 6.
Moody now for the extra point. He gets it to go, and the 49ers have cut the deficit to 5.
49ers 36.
A one-score game late, and you figure they got to have this one as they'll try an onside kick. Past midfield.
With the rule changes on kickoff, Mike, it's just so hard to really expect to recover an onside kick nowadays. There's a lot of people pushing for kind of a radical change to this. Hey, can we make it 4th and 15? Offense gets the go. If they convert it, they keep the ball. I'm not sure that ever happens, but we can see here an onside kick, not much of a chance. And all you can do at this point, Mike, is just really marvel at how well he's been able to run the ball. And throughout the course of the game, they've certainly not been shy in giving it to him, and I think he's held up his side of the bargain.
Timeout 49ers. That is their second. And they'll stop it with a little over 30 left in the game. 2nd and 11. On the ground, here's Pacheco. The tackle is going to be made down at the 40-yard line. The Niners will use their 3rd and final timeout, and they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining on the clock. They'll come up 1st and 10 at the 40. They'll stay on the ground and stay with Pacheco. And they bring him down, but not until they get inside the 30-yard line. That's 11 yards again, 2 plays in a row. And another 1st down. Victory formation here as he's down to a knee.